alarm over the activities of unknown gunmen in the area. In the last 4 days, the gunmen had unleashed terror on motorists, resulting in the death of a number of persons. The highways. Some terrorists who fell victim plied the besieged road in an attempt to avoid traffic gridlock created by an accident caused by police roadblock on the Ihiala-Owerri road, diverted to use the Hazia road. On account of what is happening in that area, fear-stricken residents and motorists who survived attacks have been dishing out warning notices on social media platforms about the dangers of plying the Osmogu Hazia Ihiala road. Just recently, the gunmen killed one Chief Gab Ofoma Ojemba Enwelu Nnewi, chairman and CEO of Ofoma Associates Limited, while he was traveling on the same road, Vanguard reports. According to a Facebook post by a kinsman, Azuka Onwoka, Ofoma's driver made a detour from the Onitsha-Owerri high en route to Port Harcourt due to the heavy traffic on the highway. Onwoka said Chief Gab Ofoma, who had the chieftaincy of Ojemba Enwen Ilu Nnewi, was gunned down in a cold blood on Sunday by those who killed for no ransom. His crime probably was that he was riding in an SUV and looks like a big man. Many people have been murdered on that road by these people who killed anybody that is in a big car and looks like a big man. It has become a crime to ride a big car in the southeast, except you have a battalion of security operatives guarding you. During the Christmas and New Year mass return, the killings reduced, but the killers seemed to have resumed afterwards. Also, one Melie Ajulu Chuku wrote, "Danger, keep off Ukpo Lilu Osmogu Azia Mbosi Road in Anambra State. It is a death trap. Please, brethren, do not ply the above routes for any reason whatsoever. It has been proven to be a major security flashpoint. These hoodlums, known as unknown gunmen, have taken over the place, randomly wreaking havoc on lives and property. Just yesterday, Sunday 20th February 2022, my brother-in-law Chief Gab Ofoma Ojemba Enwelu Nnewi, chairman CEO of Ofoma Associates Limited, was gunned down in cold blood as his driver made a detour from Onitsha-Owerri highway en route to Port Harcourt due to traffic jam on the expressway. This illustrious son of Igbo land was a trailblazer in his professional field of estate surveying and management, a national player, an employer of labor with a staff strength of over 115 personnel and offices in Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, and Nnewi, a very huge, irreparable loss to the Committee of Civilization of Igbo Nation. We are at crossroads. There must be a formidable way to put a stop to this fratricida malady that is besetting the entire southeast landscape. It is time to act. There is danger." Another motorist, O.C. Abdul Basim, who escaped the attack, identified, also warned motorists against using the road. The disclaimer shared widely on Facebook is dated February 2022, and which says, "My encounter with the so-called unknown gunmen yesterday, February 19th, 2022 at Mbosi Ihiala local government area of Anambra State. I had left Port Harcourt on Thursday, February 17, 2022 to my village, Ukulu, Anambra State for the burial and funeral ceremony of my late cousin. On our way from Port Harcourt, the number of security checkpoints were unnecessarily too many. At Okija, we spent a substantial amount of time crossing a police checkpoint. When I got to the exact point of the check, I mentioned to the officer to release the line because the distance had stretched too far, and he said, yes, sir. I was traveling with my cousin and I told him that the point of the security checkpoint is wrong. Vehicles coming from the Onitsha lane had stretched over 500 meters across a bridge and downhill. It was an incident or accident waiting to happen. We finished the burial activities on Friday, February 18th, 2022 and stayed for the better part of the Saturday before we set out to return to Port Harcourt. When we approached Okija, we saw long lines of vehicles. We expected that based on the experience of the previous 2 days, but the story was different. We were told that an articulated vehicle trailer had lost control on descending that hill the previous day and had crushed many people. In that chaos, motorists began to be unruly and police unleashed tear gas to enable them to escape. They escaped, but the people refused to disperse. All the articulated vehicles decided to block the road in protest of police maltreatment. That was how we joined other motorists to divert and ride through Nnewi, Ukpo and Osumogu. As we climbed the road breaker to enter Mbosi town in Hiala local government area, my cousin spotted a white Hilux pulling out from the side of the road. As I watched from my rear view mirror, it was unmistakable that we were there. We were their prey, or we were the prey. They were driving so fast to catch up with me. By the way, I was driving a Toyota Tundra truck. I sped up immediately and what would turn out like a James Bond movie ensued. For almost a kilometer, we were jumping all the road bumps. I was in the lead and speeding like hell. After about a kilometer, they started shooting at us. I wasn't deterred and just continued to drive. They eventually hit one of my rear tires, but I didn't stop. The entire road was littered with abandoned vehicles and there was pandemonium everywhere. And then God showed me mercy. God showed up for me. At the point when my vehicle was barely moving, they stopped, turned around and left. I managed another 200 meters before I drove into a mechanic workshop, jumped out with my cousin and ran. Hey! War. This is war. So now you want to tell me that it is a hype up on what now? They will just go and be shooting people. I don't understand, because the government will not tell you, oh, it is hype up, it is this. This is a high level of propaganda. If you continue to live or continue to blame IPOP that they are the ones, that hypocrisy is something else. When people are armed to protect the land and salaries to pay them are not forthcoming and no known leaders to supervise their operations, the result is anarchy. Good intentions have turned into chaos. May God protect the people in the land. Okay. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this. Thank you.